It started. Okay, so welcome back to season 4, episode 3. This is the first video with a guest in it. So how you doing today, man?
Very good.
Yeah,
How are you?
thanks for coming on. This is a weird way to get a guest on. This is my first time where I got a guest on by making a video on TikTok and like getting people to tag you in it, essentially. So glad it worked. Glad it worked. Normally the process is find an email somewhere and send an email, but I couldn't find an email, so I was like, well, I guess I'll just...
It's a much more effective way because I just suddenly got all these pings on my phone being like, you've been mentioned.
That couldn't have been possible before like a week, because I had like this sudden blow up on TikTok that just worked in my favor.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I went from like 2,500 to 34,000 in one day.
How'd you manage that?
I don't know. It takes, like, I've been saying in my head for a long time, like, it just takes one video and then it's good. And then one video worked, I guess. I don't know.
Nice. How many views did you get on that video?
Like 400,000, but like, it was my highest like rate of engagement in any video. Like that video has like a third of the likes on my whole account right now, which is crazy to think.
What was the video?
It was just kind of explaining how I started this year and how I want to end it. It was basically just saying I've got 24 days left and I want to hit 10,000 followers. And like people kind of just took it out of proportion and made me hit 30,000. And I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. And it has calmed down a bit, thankfully. But I'm pretty sure my phone's like a bit busted now because it just kept vibrating and it doesn't vibrate anymore, which I think I'm going to have to get it fixed.
Yeah, it's freaked itself out.
It was just, I don't know. It was crazy though. It's definitely worth it. Because that was my 418th video on this app. It was 418th video on the app that blew it. So I remember like 0 to 1,000 was like 200-ish videos, and then 1,000 to 2,000 was also like around, I was approaching 400, not quite at 400, and then the last like 30,000 were just all just instant. It was crazy.
That is crazy.
And
what's the time frame that you've been doing that from?
August. It started in August.
Okay, nice.
I always wish I started sooner, but I was always just like, I don't have anything. I just started on my phone. I was like, I'm not gonna try get a setup and wait for that, because like even now I'm just using my phone to record and it's good enough. You just get like a £8 ring light and it makes a difference to the quality.
Yeah, it's funny, like, so I mean when I started, which was back in like May, it was there weren't that many people kind of, there was a couple who were kind of who sort of were on this on the roundabout to the TikTok. The big ones was Pokey Banks, and Harry Livingston. Those are the two sort of main big guys. And that was kind of it.
Once you download the app, you find out there's like a lot of niches, right? Like on the surface, it's just like there's some like girls doing dances, but like you get the app, and it finds out what you like, and like there's so many like rabbit holes.
Yeah, you just go and like, it's I mean, it's very clever. It's very clever. But no, you're right. It just goes to a rabbit hole. But like now, it's interesting. Like now, there's kind of a lot. Like it's interesting that you say that you did 200 videos and like you got sort of 2,000, because like mine was quicker than that, I have to say. And I think it's partly because there's now a lot of people doing similar type content.
I think it all depends on how many people there are that want to consume that type of content.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think at the time when I sort of got into it, which is kind of, it was good timing really, because it was the start of lockdown. So people were kind of there, ready to go, sort of at home, just sitting around doing nothing. But there weren't really like a huge number of creators who were kind of doing it. So I kind of just, not that I knew that I was doing that at the time, I have to say. But now I look at it now and I see that there's a lot.
Did you start off with just making content that was based on trading, or did you like narrow it down to that later on?
No, I mean, I've always kind of tried to do like because when I started, I basically was like, if I just make trading content or if I just make sort of algorithm content or whatever it is, like that is super niche. And there's only a small like number of people that will be like really keen to watch that content basically. So then I kind of just started to brand out or sort of branch out, to more like personal finance, like what is savings, like what is savings, like where you should be saving, like where you should be, like investments, pensions, just all loads of that stuff. And I think it's loads of stuff that people don't really at the time, people don't really know about, understand about, like what is an investment, like what is a stock, like all this really basic stuff. I don't think people know, from one of the messages I get, like, a lot of people have no idea. They're not taught it by their parents, etc.
A lot of people might not even like know, because they might be on TikTok for not that type of content, but once it comes up, they've like clicked something in their brain and
it catches you. And I think I suppose what again, which I didn't really know what I was doing, but I kind of just did it anyway. I just did it because that's just the way I am. Was that like I was a little bit different. Like I was swearing quite a lot.
You were being more like true to yourself, if that makes sense. You weren't trying to put on like a I am the best thing.
No, exactly. And I think that's what kind of resonates with people.
Yeah, a lot of the people trying to like give advice on TikTok, they're just like, this is definitely the best advice that I can guarantee you will work, especially for you.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that was the problem. And like, because I was just a bit more, just normal swearing, being like, this is bullshit, that, all the rest of it. And then I also was doing the sort of internet scammer stuff as well. A series that, for those of you who have not seen my content, it's basically, I was just, look, because to me it was very, like, it's always very obvious to spot these guys. But to other people, and like I've been scammed in the past as well, because I've signed up for this and that, and it's complete nonsense. So started to do sort of an episode or a series on these guys, and then people just really got into that. Like really were like, oh, like I've spent 300 quid on this, and like now it makes 100% sense, but like I had no idea. A lot of people
they don't do their own research. They just they look at a thing and they're just like, yep, this is the way. And like it's hard to tell them otherwise.
The thing is as well that's sad, I think, about it, is that actually what I've seen, like, from all the people I've spoken to, and kind of what I've just learned, is that there's a lot of like kids out there who are like super hungry and really want to learn, and really want to like get themselves out of the situation that they're in, or like for whatever reason get make some money, or whatever it is. So so what happens is these guys take advantage of this in a big way, and really kind of really just rinse these kids basically, and they're none the wiser, which is sad. So I think it's it's a really sort of sad situation, really, because I think, and then what happens is obviously they lose faith with the whole process and get upset and all the rest of it. So, and then just kind of like, oh, this doesn't work, and sack it off. So that's the sad part about it, like, is that the fact that like there's a lot of people who are could do great things, because they're just getting scammed. They just sack it off. So
it's really weird, especially because like everything is slowly shifting online. Like my entire year at uni, basically, if I wanted to, I wouldn't have had to pay rent and like go live there again. Because if they just told us it was going to be, so like they told us it wasn't going to be all online, I moved back for about I came back here, I don't know, a week ago or something like that. I moved back, and in those like 3 months, I got called into campus for 2 whole days.
Really?
Yeah. So me and my flatmates we just paid a year's and signed a contract for basically nothing. But we can't do anything about that. I don't think so anyway. It's really weird.
What uni are you at?
I'm at Nottingham, which is another reason. You went there, didn't you?
Yeah. I did indeed, yeah.
Well, I have a thing. Let's just do that now. I'm studying architectural environment engineering. This is like how I was going to segue into music, but since you brought it up, I'm going to share my screen, and you can see a little tier list. Some of these places might ring a bell. They might not, but we'll see.
Yeah, this is fun. Hang on.
Get that up.
Oh, these nightclubs.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this.
I haven't been to any of them in a very long time. because
I thought you said you'd never been to any of them.
no, I have.
What year? What year are you in? Second year.
I'm in my second year. Yeah. So
Okay, fine.
I would have been spending like 4 nights a week at one of these places.
Do you? Yeah, right. Do you feel cheated?
I mean, no, because I'm a second year, so I've already been around there. If I was
That's
a
a fair
first year,
point.
I would be pissed. I would be annoyed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fair point. Yeah.
Right. So, which one of these stand out to you? Just like, before we even start putting them into
Stealth.
I've only been to the Stealth once. Don't remember.
Oh,
Much of it.
it was my favorite place. Stealth and Rock City, because Rock City.
I know Rock City. Yeah.
Crisis.
Yeah. It was like a weekly.
Crisis on a
Plus,
Crisis on a Wednesday.
if you didn't have tickets, you would like you'd be scrambling on like Facebook groups or like just
Always.
anywhere to like. Or the worst would be like you didn't have a ticket, you couldn't find a ticket, so you just show up at 11 and wait.
Yeah, and pray they let you
Just
in.
wait.
Crisis was like church. Like that was the weekly. You went on a weekly.
No one would like, even if you had a 9 a.m. Thursday, you'd still go. Like you wouldn't.
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't think about it.
Oh yeah.
Like there was one night, right, where I had a practical to go to at 9 a.m. on a Thursday, but we went and then we went back to someone else's flat. We all just stayed awake until 9, and then the little opens at like 8. All bought energy drinks and went straight to the lab, and then it was like okay.
Brutal.
Yeah,
I couldn't do it now, mate. I couldn't do it now. I'm too old. Man.
I don't know. The thing is, right, because we haven't gone out in so long, me and my friends were just playing poker in our own like flat, and it was like 10:30 or something, and we were just like, we're getting kind of tired. And last year we would have been starting at like 10, and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, times have changed.
Yeah, it's just, I think one of the main like takeaways from this year is just like, I feel like most people's perception of time has just changed. Like everything just feels like it's a little bit longer.
It's really weird that like we're at Christmas.
Yeah.
And we're at Christmas, and I'm kind of like, well, like, do I feel like this year's been long, or like I do in a way, and then I don't,
and then at the same time, it's just like that was quick.
Yeah, it's like it's just really weird. Like last Christmas does not seem that long ago.
No, it's as if like the days feel longer, but as a collective, it just feels rapid.
Yeah, exactly. It's really weird.
So I'll let you take the authority on Stealth. What are we putting that? Sexy?
Oh yeah, we'll give it sexy.
Okay. I think Rock City deserves that too. Oh no, that's not Rock City. That's not
Rock Club. Yeah.
This is fun. What about Ocean? I have very strong opinions about Ocean.
Ocean was Friday night sticky floor, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't.
What are the options here? Let's go.
We've got good, neutral.
Let's go bad. Let's stick it in the bad.
I was gonna say bad.
I would say it's one of these things. Like it's wonderfully bad.
Yeah. We could put it in neutral, but
the neutral's more neutral. That's the problem. I would say let's stick it in bad, but then secretly I love bad. Yeah. So then let's go with that.
It's just a messy. It's really messy. I've never been there and not have to like drag someone out or like do something that I wouldn't want to do.
Yeah.
It's just okay. I can't really make out what this one is.
What is that? I can't even tell.
I think it says Pom Pom. Pom Pom like closed down early last year, and I think it was a new one.
I don't even think I ever went there.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in bad because it closed down very soon. I think I went there like 3 times.
It sounds bad, so let's just stick it in bad.
Yeah.
What are these ones?
What's this one? This one is Trade. I don't know about Trade.
Trade?
Haven't been there.
Literally don't know that one at all.
We'll just leave it unlisted. What about Ink? I've been to Ink. It's the one with a bunch of floors.
Man, I'm showing my age here. Didn't go to Ink.
I went to Ink like every week.
Yeah, well, you're younger than me.
Yeah. I mean, I guess. How many years ago did you go?
I graduated 2012.
I mean, that's not. Maybe
8 years.
Things change in 8 years.
I think a few clubs come and go. Is Market Bar still around?
No, I don't know what that is.
You don't know what Market Bar is?
No.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's awful.
I'll put Ink in good for now.
Alright, we'll say good. Yeah, go on.
A Prism.
I feel like I did go there.
I went there because it was free a lot of the time. Like,
Where is it?
It's the one with the really big planet on top. So like, it's opposite like a kebab shop, and like it's off.
It's not on. Is it on an industrial estate? No.
No. It's still in city centre. It's just you walk past the Victoria.
Yeah.
Shopping
I think
centre.
I remember. No, I wasn't. I think maybe once or twice. I don't know.
I think I'll put it like a neutral.
We'll get that neutral. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the other ones are. Make sure. Yeah, I don't know what these ones are. I think they either closed down or they're just small places I haven't been to.
Funny. Did you go to Escucha?
No. I mean, I don't know if I can add things to this list.
I bet these places don't even exist anymore.
Maybe. Because like
Bodega?
Nope.
Oh my god. They can't all have closed down. I don't believe it.
I mean, Pom Pom literally it opened last year because we remember it was new for our year. Like they were like trying to push it a lot. Like they were trying to advertise it. Like, oh, it's the best Thursday night in town or something. And we all went there because it was free tickets and it was new. But it got closed down very soon, and we were like, why did it get closed down? Turns out they just weren't making enough money. Like they just it just closed down within like
student thing is, student stuff is like really hard to break through because like it's
because they don't have any money and they want a good experience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they want everything for nothing basically, and it's just like also it's so formulaic, right?
Yeah,
like they've just the same stuff. Like everyone goes to the same places every week, so it's difficult to like break
like
into that.
If you're established, you're fine. If you're trying to do something new, it either has to be really good or just different somehow.
Yeah. You either have to like book massive DJs. Like Gatecrasher must be around still.
I think
surely.
I think it is. I'm not sure. I mean, there's talks of Ocean closing, which is really weird. Like Ocean's been around forever.
That's a bit of an institution.
Like some of our lecturers talk about Ocean as if like it's a place they used to go to. Like now there's talks of it just closing down because the guy who runs it can't keep up with the rent because COVID. Like they still have to like pay their thing to keep their signs and stuff.
And like a nightclub is probably not. I mean, the nightclubs will be the last thing to open.
No, they're not going to open anytime soon. So
like literally until the whole like of the UK has been vaccinated.
I mean, Rock City did sit down sessions, which was basically it's a pub now, but with very loud music.
Oh really?
Yeah, they had these things they called crisis sit down sessions, where they had like in the entire main room is like 12 to 15 tables. I don't know for sure, but you have to pay a ticket to get in, and you have to stay seated at your table the whole night.
Oh my god! Is there a band?
No, it's all just the same music, everything same, but you have to stay at your table. And you can't like even if you want to order drinks, right? You can't go to the bar. You have to call someone over, and then they will bring your drinks to you. It's just
what time is this?
Oh, by the way, it closed at 10. Like
oh, okay, right.
It went from like 7ish to 10. And
there
was only like 15 tables, and you had to pay a ticket to get in. Like people just went to a pub instead.
What is the point?
I don't know. I think people just went. I think it was freshers that went mainly because they didn't really have options.
God, mate, I would hate to
being a fresher this year would just be. Oh, I would hate
being a fresher this year because you're probably not gonna. We're probably not by the time. You're gonna lose most of.
You're gonna lose most of the excitement. You're not gonna.
You're just gonna lose so much of it basically, and like by second year probably we'll be fine because I'll be going back in September. Yeah. So that in
hopefully
theory,
if
the world isn't fixed by then God knows.
Oh, if it isn't fixed after the vaccine, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah, it'd be complete chaos.
Like, so imagine a couple months from now, just they come out with, the vaccine, it's outdated now. The virus.
I guarantee they'll be like, oh yeah, we didn't actually know that it only lasts 2 weeks and the whole world has gone explode. You know, like that's something will happen like that, 100%.
I mean, I hope it doesn't, but it could. Like, it's possible. It's
the sort of thing that would happen though.
Yeah, yeah.
You just be like,
you can see it happening, right? You can see it.
Yeah.
But what did you study when you were there?
History.
Nice.
Yeah.
How many years is that?
3 years.
Okay.
Is yours very long?
Nah, it's 3 years. Everything's 3 years, mostly.
Oh, fine. Yeah.
But
I'm like architectures and that sort of things, like 7 or something crazy. But
yeah, I mean, mine's not architecture; it's architecture engineering. So it's a way easier thing to. It's a lot less like actual designing, and we control what happens within the buildings. So like the lift systems and like the ventilation and stuff, instead of actually designing a building. We kind of have to. We do have to work with architects, but like we don't. Like this is a thing in our course. We don't like working with the architects because they're all just like artsy and they just want to like draw a pretty shape and hope everything works. You know, we're like, yeah, but you can't put a stairwell inside that building if it looks like that. So it's like a compromise between like what they want the building to look like and us trying to tell them this won't work.
Arty design and functionality, basically.
Yeah, basically.
How funny.
Like I remember we had a whole module last year where half the group was the engineers and half the group was the architects, and like it just did not work. It was like everyone's least favorite module.
Oh really?
Yeah, because we're there trying to like figure out the maths and like the physics of like how the building's gonna stand up straight, and they're just drawing stuff, like making it out of cardboard and like, look, it stands in cardboard, and we're like, yeah, but that's not the materials you're gonna be using for the actual scale size.
Oh, funny.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Yeah, but how did you get into DJing? Was it during the time when you were a student, or was it?
I did a lot of DJing while I was a student. To be fair, which was, but I started sort of before uni, but just kind of for fun. Just really liked it. And I actually like I bought some crappy 300 quid decks and was just like, let's give this a go.
Yeah.
And then like I was really into drum and bass actually. Back then, but then I basically couldn't mix it. I was just like, this is so hard. I can't, like, what's easier to mix? I just found some house tunes and I just like was like, oh, this is much easier to mix, let's just do this. And then just got really into like housey stuff. So so that was kind of
like audio equipment's expensive. Like even though you said you bought some like cheap £300, that's weird that £300 to £400 for something like that is considered cheap. I started looking at mics and stuff, and like they're not. Nothing's cheap.
Nothing's cheap.
You need like You need like an audio interface. Like at first, right? I was just like, oh yeah, I'll just buy a mic. It'll be good. You need a mic. You need an audio interface. You need an XLR cable, which is like a whole different. Really weird.
Did you buy a special camera as well?
No, I'm just using my phone.
Oh, cool. It's pretty good.
It's like my phone connected into the computer with like a USB thing.
Oh, nice.
This software up here that keeps appearing. It's like
I need to get all I need to get all the gear, and I need to start pumping out the YouTube channel.
The next thing, oh yeah, I did also. Same time I started my TikTok, started like a YouTube account. So like naturally just carrying over from the big blow up, because my YouTube's like linked on the TikTok thing. Like you can put your Instagram there. I put my TikTok there, not my TikTok, my YouTube there, so my Instagram. Like it's just naturally carried over to like over 1,000, and I'm just like, how has this happened? You know?
That's cool.
It's weird. I mean, my next thing would be to get a camera, because like I've got this like arm thing, so like everything you're seeing right now, right? It's mounted to the same arm.
Yeah.
Like, the mic, I can just move it about.
Oh, okay, yeah, nice.
The little like phone holder and the mic and everything's mounted to the same arm. At some point, I want to get a camera and then just put it on the arm so I never have to move anything. Because now, right, whenever I want to record, whether it's for YouTube, for TikTok, or for like this show, right, whenever I want to record, I need to put my phone in the stand, and I can't use my phone. So if I get a camera, the camera just stays there, and I can not worry about it. Never have to set it up ever when I need to record. Just turn it on, and we're good. But
nice.
It's a lot of. Like, I feel like this year, just because we've had more time, I found myself going into a lot more, like, rabbit holes of things I didn't even think about.
Yeah, man, tell me about it. I mean, like, this thing, this TikTok thing, I'd never probably would have gone into it as much as I did because of lockdown, basically. Yeah. I mean, lockdown, I had a lot more time on my hands. And just kind of was like, let's just start pumping out content and see what happens.
Like, people don't realize you need to put out numbers. You need to put out like several videos a day.
Yeah, I mean, I started and I still do 6 a day every day.
Yeah, I try to do 4. Sometimes it turns into 3. Sometimes it turns into like 7. If I just have like, sometimes I'll have an idea for one video, but I can't fit it into like 15 seconds or like 20 seconds because like I've realized over time, if my video is over 20 seconds long, it just doesn't do well. Like people just don't have long enough attention span. So what I'll do, if the idea is good enough, I'll just split that idea up into 2, sometimes 3 videos that are 20 seconds each, which I could have just made into one 1 minute video. But those 3 individuals will do better than a 1 minute video would have done. And it's weird app. It's a weird app. Like you need to start off, like you like pull the camera closer to your face at the start a lot. I think. Like, you need to start off with like something that like hooks people. So yeah, it's a really weird app because people just scroll so easily. Like a lot of the time, it's just based on. Sometimes I'll just repost a video, like the exact same video, an hour later, it'll do better. I don't understand why.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to figure out like what is better and what timings and all the rest of it. Like, I figured out literally the only way you're actually gonna figure it out is by
just doing it.
Just throwing shit and just see what happens.
See what sticks.
Because that's. Yeah, it's literally just a numbers game, and then eventually something will pop.
Eventually, one of them will work, basically.
Exactly, and it's also like it's very difficult to. It's more difficult when you're in this kind of niche, like to go viral because they're not really viral-esque videos. Are like sat there talking about
I make videos talking about computer parts. No one's gonna be sitting there like, what? That's insane. Let me share this to all my friends.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like, I talk about like compounding interest and pensions, and I'm like, it's boring. But like, I mean, I had the same sort of thing like you mentioned. Kind of, I just kept plugging away, and like first few videos got 100, a couple 100 views, and then hit 1,000, and then 5, and then like eventually, and I was like
your baseline views go up. Like even if the videos don't do well, the base amount of views you get eventually goes up.
Yeah, it just naturally sort of trickles up, and then I had what you had, which is just the one just went mental. I got like 800,000 views or something on this one video, and just like catapulted me.
It's really weird how it. I feel like there's no other, like even on YouTube, even though it's been around for years. If you have one YouTube like viral video, it doesn't like get you 30,000 subscribers ever. Like it'll get you a couple hundred, and like most people will like the video, but you won't like exponentially just gain a following.
Yeah, and I've done this thing where like I've done a few where like I've done these like 100 videos in a day.
Yeah. Have you ever done 100 though? Or did you ever manage to get 100?
Yeah, I've done it a few times.
Oh. How often do you have to post to make that possible?
I literally sat down for like 4 hours and just fucking pumped it out. But to be fair, they weren't like original content. It was a lot of just being like responding to.
But 100 in a day, it's not gonna. It doesn't need to be original if you're doing 100 in a day.
No, I think I would have died if I had to come up with 100 visual ideas. But I was just responding to people's comments. But like, I did that, and like, it was just weird. Like of those 100 videos, like, it was the same format, same everything. Mm-hmm. And the one that popped really hard, I did like and I got 1.4 million views.
Yeah,
was just some guy's question about student loan debt and like paying it off early. And I was just like, no, you shouldn't pay it off early. Like it's dead money. You can invest it and get a return, etc. And like that just went mental. I was just like, this is bizarre.
It's the weirdest ones. Like I remember my most viewed video before this crazy one that got like 400,000 a couple days ago. It was literally just someone commented, "What's your Wi-Fi speed?" I literally just searched up speed test on Google and filmed it. 100,000 views. And I'm like, what? Yeah. Nothing I did matters before this because that just it was really weird. It's a really weird thing. Where like the dumb questions attract the most people, and like
I know, it's classic.
You don't even know which question it's gonna be sometimes.
I know, it's very strange, but it's. I mean, I think what's cool about it, like, and it was, and kind of why I got into it was because I guess you watch Gary V or Gary V, and like he was super on it. Like I was watching him kind of.
He promotes the shit out of it. He's just like. If you're not on it, you're losing, stuff like that.
Yeah, and like now and what's really like he'd always talk about this stuff being like if you put yourself out there, like things will come to you and all the rest of it. And I was just kind of like, all right, fine. I was watching a lot of his stuff, and I was like, all right, fine. Let's just give this a go. We'll just see what happens. See if we can, because I completely missed the boat on Instagram.
Yeah, same.
Like, I just didn't like do any. I have a personal page and like 500 followers or whatever. That's it. Like, I never did anything with it. So anyway, and then like I just followed his advice. And he was like post 6 times a day. I did that. Bosh, it worked. Yeah. So crazy.
But I think a lot of people expect it to work instantly. It doesn't work instantly. You got to do it for a while.
No, exactly. I mean, that was kind of why with the sort of tagline that I have. Yeah. I think it's quite a useful message.
Yeah.
Just generally for people, and I think it's cool. Like I see people in the comments being like, I think of this.
Like, or even on my video, because I make like videos about computers and tech and stuff. I was like, maybe they don't know who he is, maybe they do. I'll just ask them to tag him anyway. Like, a lot of the comments have your tagline in them where they say marathon, not a sprint. I was like, oh, they know.
Yeah. It's really funny. Like, I mean, a lot, like, and it's cool. Like, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing for people to have and in their mind. And I don't see a lot of people talking about. Well, the people who sort of are scamming are all sort of like, you can become a millionaire in 20 minutes.
Of the like Poku Bank's videos, like his videos they're aimed at a younger demographic in the sense that he starts them off with something like, this is how I made £200, and then he talks about something, but he never really like tells them it might take a while.
Yeah. Like, I mean, look, he has
did you watch the interview he did with
Samuel Leeds?
A really long one. I haven't seen the whole thing, but I've seen like clips of it. And it didn't look like either of them came off the best.
No, I mean, like Samuel Leeds, for a grown man, was kind of throwing his arms around and shouting a lot and all the rest of it. Like, it's just like, I always think if people are like sort of that aggressively defensive, they're obviously like tetchy about it.
There's something they're hiding.
Yeah, because like you don't get that tetchy unless you have something to hide. And I just think, I don't know, maybe he's bored of defending himself. Maybe because he is just, a bit scammy or whatever. Like, whatever, but he came across like a bit, just like this, just like you're speaking to like an 18-year-old.
It was supposed to make one of them look better than the other, but at the end of like all the clips and stuff, I just thought both of them didn't look great. Like, one of them was just overly like, I'm wrong, no, you're wrong, I'm right, and the other one was just like stumbling over their words, and like it wasn't a great look.
Well, but it was like the thing where he was like, oh, I can't remember what the company was called, but it was Poker Banks Limited or something. I don't know what it was, but stuff like that. You just think, like if you're gonna sit down and try and like call someone out for being a scammer and fake this and that, and then you've got, I think it was a fake company or whatever it was. I don't know what it was, but it didn't exist and it wasn't on company's house. You think, but like, come on. Yeah. But he kind of said, he even said himself, like he kind of took an L basically on that one, and just that wasn't a good thing for him to do, essentially. So you live and you learn, mate. I think that's kind of the thing. And the thing is, the sad thing is actually is that like there was potentially a really good opportunity there to sort of have two people sit down and have a like genuine conversation, like what is it that you do, like talk them through it, all the rest of it. But it became a bit of a sort of,
it became shouting,
amateurish sort of slinging match, basically.
It should have been a debate, turned into you're right, you're wrong, I'm right.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think it's weird with like those like highly like informed niches where like there is knowledge out there, like something like that where like there is knowledge out there and people can get there, but there's not a lot of knowledge right now on TikTok. Is people can do their own research and find out what's right, but because TikTok's so new and there's not that many like established, like I don't know whether to call them like niches or like genres and stuff, but like because it's new and because you don't know who's right or wrong. Also, it's a younger demographic than any other place. People are quick to take sides.
Yeah, of course. But it just, I think it all sort of, people will figure it out for themselves eventually, and then and if they sign up and they get scammed, they get scammed. I mean, that's just kind of the way it is, and you'll learn from that and move on. Yeah,
but some of the things on TikTok do make me sometimes I make these videos where like I summarize like a whole game in 30 seconds, and I call it like game in 30 seconds or something, and it's all like time lapse, it's sped up, and it's me narrating over what happened, right? But because it's younger, like kids and stuff, they don't understand. They're like, how? That's not 30 seconds. You sped it up. I was like, no, that's the point. I'm trying to summarize what happened for you. It's just, sometimes it's funny, but other times you're just like, these are literal children. But it's, what do you think about, because like both of the videos we make, they're not meant for like kids, if that makes sense. They're not.
No.
Because you need to be a certain age to like get into, for example, trading, or like get into making your own computer and stuff. You can't just rock up one day and tell your parents, I want to start trading, help.
Well, you'd be surprised.
I mean, you could, but like
I speak to a lot of kids who are sort of really keen to get into it. How do I get into it? What do I do? All this kind of stuff. So I mean, and a lot of their parents sort of won't let them do it. I
feel like it depends from person to person, though.
Yeah, I mean, it literally is. But like, you know, like I said, I think there's a lot of people who are like, you know, young, like 14, 15, who want to learn this stuff. Yeah. And I think it's interesting, like, even from the difference between, you know, when I was 15, and the, you know, someone who's 15 now, the amount of information that's available to them. More. Oh, it's so huge, and they have all these apps, and they can find all these people, and they can learn a lot more. So the whole like entrepreneurial thing, it's like, you know, learning to do this or learning to that or whatever. Like it's very much more like it's much more of a thing now than it was.
They want to do it, right? They don't want to just go play football with their mates in the park after school or some shit. They
no, exactly.
Yeah,
and I think that's what sort of social media has done. Is kind of like, which is great in a way, because it means it inspires people to sort of, you know, that there is a different way, like especially if you're a kid who doesn't like education, doesn't like you know, what you're learning in school. You can channel that into something else. Whereas actually before, it's kind of like, well, if you don't like school, then you're kind of fucked.
Yeah, if you don't like school, you kind of have to deal with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so coming up in the end of the episode, the question we end the guest episodes with is: say tomorrow you somehow found out it's your last 24 hours, right? What are you eating? What are you eating? What's your last like meals of the day?
What am I eating?
Yeah, like what's your last breakfast? What's your last lunch? What are you having in your last day?
Okay. So breakfast would be like good, like, you know, those like thick American pancakes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, like.
But I feel like you can't have them unless it's like, you can have them every now and then, but it's your last day. You might as well just.
yeah, those beastly with like really like huge amounts of butter on each one, and like loads of maple syrup and bacon. Oh yeah. That's what we're talking about. Lunch would be like, I think, just a really, really good steak with sweet potato fries.
Not a lot of people go for sweet potato.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I had some today. A lot of people just.
I love it.
Sweet potato fries. A lot of people surprisingly don't know what it's like. Like they just,
I love it.
They assume it's like a sweet. No, it's different. It's not just a potato that's sugary. It's a whole weird thing.
I'm a huge fan. Yeah. I'd have corn, like corn on the cob with butter and salt as well. Nice. I think that would be like a nice lunch. And then dinner. Oh, what do I have for dinner? That's a favourite meal of mine. I mean, for dessert, I would have, like, do you know? Have you ever been to the Cheesecake Factory?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's like I don't think they have it in England, actually, to be fair, but it's like basically this American.
I've heard of it, but I haven't.
American restaurant that does cheesecake, and it's basically like the best cheesecake in the entire world, and it's like covered in cream. Oh, it's so good. That would be dessert. Dinner would probably be. Oh my. I might have like a really good curry, actually, with a bit of peshwari naan. Yeah, love that. Like a really good one is like mind blowing. I think that's what I'd have. That'd be the
anywhere
combo.
Specific that you remember?
Sorry?
From anywhere specific? I remember we had a guest on one time. He's just like, "Oh yeah, I went to this one restaurant 7 years ago with my friend. I want to go there again for my last."
Yeah, there's some good. I mean, there's some good curry houses, especially around like Tooting Broadway and stuff. Like some really good. So I'd probably go to one of those, and then I'd obviously have my very large ice cheesecake, and then die.
That's the end.
Yeah, that's it. See you later.
Thanks for coming on. It's been fun. Talking. Glad we sorted out Roxy is the top. I know I'm gonna get some stick for that before this isn't going up. But yeah, I'll just stop recording now.